the real deal.
Kendo made it.
What's up, guys? Welcome to The Real Deal Airsoft. In this video, I have an interview with an amazing guy, all right? An airsofter with over 2 decades of experience, an international player as well, and the creator of the Gladiator Games. Without any further ado, Airsoft_Sparticus on Instagram, Airsoft Sparticus. So tell the real dealers, I want you guys to know who you are, your experience, and a little bit about yourself. Tell the real dealers a little bit about Airsoft Sparticus.
Hey guys, so I've been playing Airsoft for 2 decades. I've traveled to Sweden. I plan on traveling again to Sweden and other European countries. I've traveled down south, up north, west, east, you point a direction. Chances are I've been there. I've played Airsoft, and I've also intertwined Airsoft with training. So I've been quite physical for the last 20 years with Airsoft. I haven't been in the gym in 10 years. So that goes to show you the kind of airsofting I do. And I want to bring that into Airsoft, where you're going to get physical, and the Gladiator Games are exactly what it sounds like. At the end of it, you'll be a gladiator.
So let me ask you a question. So playing with you for so long, like one thing that I noticed whenever I played with Airsoft Sparticus on the field is his stamina, his determination, and overall fitness, because he showed me pictures of him many years ago, and I was like, there's no way that that's the same guy. Like, I've witnessed his tactics, and I've said, listen, you got to tell people, like, how you prep for milsums, your whole mentality, that whole, I guess, how he calls it, the gladiator culture. That is something that I feel like we need to bring. So let me ask you a question. Your physical fitness and your passion, is that something that rolled into the way you play Airsoft?
Absolutely.
Like, is fitness something in the back of your mind?
So as people, we all hold certain things as pillars to how we go forward. Fitness is very big for me. I was a former baseball player, college ball player, pro ball player, so fitness has always been a part of my life. I stopped playing baseball when my kids were born.
Right.
When everything was more on a decline of the athlete world, and more of like now life starts. And like you said, I was at 295 pounds.
Wow. That I'm 6'4.5", 6'5", depending on if I'm wearing shoes or not, and that's more than me. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
So
man.
and now, as of last Friday, I'm at my college weight of 180 pounds.
God bless. God bless.
So, and it's been just the physicality of airsoft. Almost every single tactic I apply on airsoft, I paid for learning at a real operator's course.
So that brings us to the experience. So Airsoft Sparticus isn't just someone who just played airsoft. So let me know a little bit of the experience with training with real operators.
So I've gone to Virginia, I've gone upstate New York to West Point, I've gone to Canada, I've gone to Massachusetts, and in every single one of these locations, it was either a tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3 operator. Most of the time, I prefer tier 1 just because their caveat of information is just, it's tested.
Right.
Period. So every single thing I enroll out in airsoft, I've always picked the brain of a veteran in that special forces community, and I've said, come on, tell me something, and then I will turn around and say, and I'll sit on it and say, okay, how can I translate that into airsoft? Because obviously not everything in real steel translates to airsoft.
Right.
You can't stack up on the door in real steel.
Right.
You can in airsoft and push the first guy eats all the BBs, then you take the guys out. In real steel, if you stack up on a wooden door with sheetrock, the bad guy is just going to take that AK and rock the whole wall.
So that brings me to realism in airsoft. So I've noticed that on social media, people like T-Rex arms have becoming more popular.
Yeah.
And in general airsoft play, would you say that there's like almost a lack of that real training, that it's more like free-for-all, and that the community kind of wants to simulate what they see on social media, like T-Rex arms, and train.
Absolutely.
But where do you do it, right?
Yeah.
So I get does that aid in the creation of the Gladiator Games?
So I came about the Gladiator Games because I just had an epiphany one time, and I said, man, we play a sport that was idealistically created for the Japanese military to train.
Really?
This wasn't a sport. This was actually a training tool for the Japanese military.
And I can say this as an airsoft player. When you go to play at an open field, it's just running and gunning. You know, you're just playing with your kid. It's free for all. There's unlimited respawn. So at the end of the day, like, you're going to have fun and you'll have your own training. But in terms of doing competition courses, which a lot of us airsofters do at home, I personally set up targets and I time myself. I do my quick draws. Beep.
He's fast. He's really, really fast. I mean, he's so fast. He makes.
But there's nowhere for me to really do that in an airsoft field. It's always open play, unlimited respawns. Like, you could only take it so serious. So I feel like the Gladiator Games is going to be something that the airsoft community can be like, let's go, let's get competitive. So let's talk about the Gladiator Games in specific. So what can people expect from the Gladiator Games? What type of a competition is the Gladiator Games?
So the Gladiator Games is going to be broken down into 3 phases. And it's meant to pay an homage to who we mimic in milsims, in open play. We're basically imagining that we're SEALs, Delta Force, Rangers, SAS, whatever you have you. So why don't you get tested like they do?
Let's get to the juice, the Gladiator Games. What can the contestants expect from the Gladiator Games?
So expect to be physical, mental, and then put it all together and endure against the same community you stepped into at the beginning of the day.
Now, in terms of the competition, is it going to be just shooting targets? Is it going to be some physical aspects? Describe that for us.
So it's broken down into 3 phases. The first phase is what I call the task phase.
The task phase.
You're going to be doing a task while engaging targets.
So you're going to be doing a physical activity while manipulating your equipment.
Yeah. What you will do, you will log carry for sure at the Gladiator Games. You will go into a kill house and display whether or not you're a tactician. Can you maneuver angles? Can you avoid the hostage and hit the target? And there's going to be surprises there.
Walking through a little bit of the course, I'm not going to say any exclusive details, but I noticed there are really dynamic targets. Now, by dynamic, I mean that there are some that are friendly, there are some that are enemy, there are some that look a little bit deceiving. They look like they have something in their hand, but it's actually a cell phone. So tell us a little bit about the targets that you decided to choose for this Gladiator Games.
One of my favorite influencers in the real steel world happens to be an avid airsofter. which is Lucas Bakins, and he owns T-Rex Arms, especially because he's been linking airsoft with real steel. I decided, the Sparticus brand, we all decided to go with T-Rex Arms with a lot of the stuff we're using. We're using their 3D chameleon systems, and man, is it really good. It's
yeah,
great.
we had one gentleman that works here. We had a gentleman that works here, and he's like, what are you guys doing? We showed him a little bit of the second portion of the competition, which is the shooting portion, and he walked through the kill house, and he's like, he pretended like, yeah, I'll get this guy. I'm like, look at that target again. He's like, oh my gosh, I thought it was an enemy. It was actually a friendly. So these dynamic targets by T-Rex Arms are really cool, and they will be included in his competition. As well, I saw some custom bright targets with reactive stickers on them. That's really cool because you'll be able to identify your hit right away. Yeah. So we have dynamic targets. We have really physically enduring obstacles that you have to go through. So I just want to paint a really good picture for the people that are interested in playing in the Gladiator games. Break it down real quick. You said that there's 3 stages. Just give us a quick run through of stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3 of the Gladiator games.
It's 3. Phase 1 is the task phase, where you will be doing a physical, drooling task while engaging with your primary or secondary. Your second phase will be what I want to call is the kill house. I'm calling it the animal house, because it's not just going to be hostage and aggressor or weapon holder. And then the third stage, we put it all together. So phase 3 is a player versus player, force on force elimination. And you put together your physicality that you did in your task in your phase 1, and then the tactician you developed in phase 2 now comes together in the Coliseum, where we get to see who the gladiators.
And that's a player versus player?
And that is all force on force.
Yeah. Wow.
Your gear will be weighted the entire time to maintain its weight. That's one thing I said we are mimicking what these folks do in real life.
So the gear you have on is the gear you're going to finish with?
Yeah.
No shortcuts.
It's going to be heavy the whole day. It's not going to get lighter. It's only going to stay heavy. And there's a specific points keeping system that we're enrolling for the Gladiator games, that in every single Gladiator games, you will know the kind of athlete on a metric system that you are.
Right, so basically your performance will yield a point, and that is similar to the Olympics. When they're competing, they can look at the scoreboard and see how they scored and their placement. So you could see who the superior athletes are, airsoft athletes, I guess we could say, because we're combining physical and airsoft. What field is the Gladiator Games going to be hosted at?
We're proud to say that the first inaugural Gladiator Games is going to be launched at Zulu 24, July 1st for Freedom Friday.
Let's go. So to recap, Real Dealers, we have a really all-immersive airsoft competition that's going to be physically demanding, that's broken down into 3 different stages. The first stage is the task, where you're going to be undergoing a lot of physical obstacles while putting shots on target, leading into the second phase, which is the animal house, where you're going to be running through and we're going to be testing your marksmanship, where you're just going to be putting shots on target. Make sure not to shoot the friendlies. It's really interactive. You have a lot of sprinting going on. And to bring it all together, the third phase, which is the Coliseum, a player versus player, force on force, elimination based round. Like Sparticus said, there's going to be points assigned to every single stage in the competition, and you'll be able to see if you really are a real deal gladiator or not. Real deal. Follow Airsoft_Sparticus on Instagram to get more up-to-date details. As we get closer to the event, which will be July 1st, Sparticus will release more and more information, so make sure you follow him, Airsoft_Sparticus. Until next time, send that shit.
Fire in the hole.
It'll cut to when it goes.
Yeah. All right, I gotta see you. Ooh, it's about to bop the nipple.
All right, so we'll be good on this one.
Yeah, we will.
Send that shit.
Fire in the hole. This motherfucking rubber is hard to break.
What's happening?
I'm glad we're recording. We got boop. Do you think they'll still go?
Fire in the hole. Come on, motherfucker. Are you kidding?
The real deal.